Hey y'all, hey, it's Raw to the Bone. Happy Tuesday, y'all. So, I did coffee with friends this morning, and the topic it was a simple question, but it wasn't so simple as only two people might have answered the question, right? And the question was, whose relationship inspires you? Right? This was a simple question that I threw out on Coffee with Friends just to see, because we have been talking about healthy relationships, why so many people are single and having trouble dating, or when they're in relationships and marriages, why are so many marriages failing or falling apart. And a lot of times, we talk about communication, not being on the same page, different things, not having stay-in power, etc. Right? But one of the things that I asked my son yesterday was, whose relationship inspires you or inspired you? And I didn't expect him to say my relationships, right? Because I've had a few dysfunctional relationships. Hey, we're here talking about honesty and real shit. This is real life, right? And so when I asked him the question as to whose relationship inspires him, he couldn't answer. He didn't know. He says he really cannot pinpoint a relationship that he can look at and say it inspires him to be like them, right? Most of the relationships that he has seen or experienced has been dysfunctional, right? And so I reminded him of a friend of his that he grew up with. They're best friends. They're like brothers. And his friend has been in a relationship with his wife from middle school. And they went through a lot of shit. Middle school, through high school, through adult life, through kids. And they're still together. And they're about 37, 38 years old today. And so, oftentimes, you wonder how come some relationships last like that and some relationships don't, right? And the simple answer is, some people might say, oh, because some people put up with more bullshit than the other. But no. I asked this question this morning on Coffee with Friends, and two people responded that they experienced relationships in their families that that inspired them, right? One person selected an aunt and an uncle that inspired them, and another person selected their godparents that inspired them, right? And other people, the rest of the people on Coffee with Friends this morning, they had no relationships to call out that inspired them, right? Even someone on Coffee with Friends stated that when they were growing up, they even knew that their mother stayed too long in a relationship where they should have left because the dad's behavior was not good, right? But then that same person, when they became an adult, right, they admitted that their first husband was a cookie cutter image of the dad, right? So this person made the same mistake as the mom made, because why? These are the relationships that we experience. And sometimes we experience so much toxic behavior that toxic behavior becomes normal to us, right? And not being happy in a relationship becomes normal to us. And that's why one of the things that I always said was, I never agreed with people staying together for kids, because you're teaching your children how to love toxic, how to make toxic the next norm, right? The other thing that was interesting on Coffee with Friends is there was a couple of people on there that feel defeated in the relationship arena, okay? And the defeat is coming from all the disappointment that they may have had or experienced throughout their adult years as far as relationships concerned. One gentleman admitted that, he feels he's husband material, but he's had some bad experiences with relationships, and he ultimately always gets ghosted, right? He used the word dump. I'm going to use the word ghosted because ghosting is a real thing. And thank you to one of my Coffee with Friends members who was nice enough to send me a video about ghosting, right? And ghosting could be a simple thing as you going out on a date and that person not calling you ever again, or you calling someone on the phone and they say they're going to call you back and they never do again. Ghosting it has many different forms. So I'm going to use ghosting instead of dump, but he felt defeated. Right? And so now he's saying, he's just focusing on his own life and his own self. And the one thing I said to him was, do not get discouraged. Everything that we experience in our lifetime, right, is a lesson. Right? We need to learn from that, grow from that, and do better. And listen, if just like I told him on Coffee with Friends, I'm saying it again. You are still good husband material, right? And even though you have not stumbled across that person for you, there is a person out there for you, right? We have to start being honest with ourselves and learning who we are as a people, right? Setting our boundaries and sticking to that. And also, we have to make sure that we have the right criterias in order, of what we're looking for in a relationship. Some people look for looks, good sexual companionship. But guess what? Looks change. Sex does too, right? Because when you get older, some men lose their function. We know what is called erectile dysfunction. And some women lose their libido via menopause. Right? So we can't put all our eggs in a basket based on looks and based on sex, right? And also, sex for men is physical, they say, and sex for women is emotional. So if you have other things going on in a relationship, guess what's going to happen to sex? It's going to get affected. That's why you have to have so much more in a relationship. All right? Another woman on Coffee with Friends, she said that at this point, she's discouraged about relationships. She still feels she's wife material, but she's discouraged, right? And when people start to feel like that, and believe you me, I'm in my healing season right now. And when I come out of this healing season, I might come out lighter. Meaning, well, I'm hoping that I come out lighter emotionally, but I might come out lighter people-wise too. Okay, because everyone can't travel with you through your growing season. Okay, and I committed to myself that, I used to beat myself up because I do things for people and I feel like I'm always there for people when they need me. And then when they want to pop off or be nasty or mean to me, then they do that. And then I get offended and I get hurt because I say, damn, did I deserve that? But you know what? I can't control how other people react or act, right? I can only control who I am. And I have decided that in my healing season, I am going to stay true and authentic to myself. Okay, first and foremost. And I have already admitted and accepted that I have a big heart. So there are going to be things that I continue to do and execute on that some people don't understand why I do it, because my heart is what it is. Right? And so I'm going to sleep peacefully because the type of expectations I have on other people are going to change. That's a part of my healing season, right? I can't hold people to the mat for doing what I think they should do for me. I need to learn myself. So this is one of the things I told people on Coffee with Friends this morning. Enter your healing season, right? Take note of the past relationships that you had, whether girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, relationships with your parents, your siblings, whatever it is. Take a temperature check of yourself. Do some self-discovery and figure out who you are as a person, what your boundaries are, and then start from there. And then try to figure out what another person can add to your life. What needs do you have of another person to come into your life? And please make sure that it's more than just look and that sex, okay? Because again, those things change, right? We have to go deeper, people. We have to go deeper. But I just wanted to jump on here because it was a deep question. Whose relationship inspires you? Think about that. And I didn't want people to jump on and say, Michelle and Barack, because I don't know them personally. I'm talking about people that you know personally, that you grew up with. So if you've never asked yourself that question, ask yourself that question now, right? And then if the answer is, I don't have anyone in my life that has inspired me relationship-wise, right? Then you do a self-assessment of yourself and look how you are and how you navigate through relationships. And if you are struggling with relationships or you've been in marriages, divorced, and you're just feeling defeated, and your answer was you had no one in your life that inspired you relationship-wise, don't beat yourself up. Okay? I didn't have anyone either relationship-wise. Okay? When I asked my son that question, I stood there and I tried to answer that question myself, and I didn't. I was surrounded by dysfunction, trauma, toxic energies, behaviors, right? So for me, during my healing season, I realized that some of those toxic behaviors became a norm for me, right? And we have to change. We have to do better, be better, right? So I just wanted to jump on here and chop it up about this topic, because this topic was so powerful for me. Okay, so if you're not following me, please make sure you're following me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, Raw to the Bone. Okay, I come on here and I do various topics, YouTube, IG, Facebook, and they're real topics. And people jump on and they express themselves. Just like today, I had two people, a man and a woman, who both felt defeated, right? Don't know each other, but was coming with the same energy. And I'm sure that they're not the only two. There was plenty of people on that live this morning, okay, feeling discouraged about dating and relationships. But sometimes a relationship starts with us. Start with yourself first. And with that said, that's a word for a Tuesday. How about that? I am raw to the bone. If you're not following me, please make sure you follow me. But with that said, I'm gone for now, but never am I gone forever. And with that being said, I'm out, y'all. Peace in the Middle East.